What's going on, guys? Thomas here from MyCoach Ai, and today in this video I want to show you an example of what it may look like coaching for a day inside of MyCoach Ai. Right? What do the workflows look like? How do we make it more efficient, the day-to-day tasks? Because the reality is, within your coaching business, there is just things that happen or need to happen on a daily basis, right? Answering messages, doing discovery calls, reviewing check-ins, reviewing nutrition, scheduling programs, whatever it may be. There's just staples that you're going to have to do probably on almost a daily basis. And of course, the intention of our platform is to make that as efficient and easy as possible. So a couple workflows here. Let's just dive in, get started, go from top to bottom, see what a day with coaching with MyCoach Ai may look like. Now, first things first, we are on our dashboard, and this is the place to start. This is the place to see anything that's going on for your coaching business for that given moment. So you wake up in the morning, you grab a cup of coffee, open up your laptop, and this is the place that you go. And two things we're looking at here. Number one, here's what's happening today, which is going to indicate to us any check-ins, any other events that are happening, of course, for that day. We can see that there's one check-in scheduled, awesome, with Allison. We can message her if we want to from here as well. But of course, for now, it is just important that we wait until Allison completes her actual check-in, and then we can go in for review, right? So no action required there. But then we go to our recent client notifications. Now, this is very, very useful because we can see things like people completing or missing workouts, people completing or missing check-ins, the statuses of forms that you have set out for them to complete, and even more. And it just gives you a great overview of anything that's going on in your coaching business for that very moment, okay? You can also sort these, right? If you want to just see, hey, who missed their workouts recently? Awesome. You go and filter them by that. You look at the past 48 hours or so, and then you know directly what to take action on. You see who missed their workout, right? So from this overview, and that might be the best start of your day, you can just see exactly what is going on for today and what requires my attention. What clients do I need to reach out to and take care of? Which clients are doing absolutely fine and I can leave for what it is right now, right? That is what you are doing here with the dashboard. Part number two, maybe something like answering messages. That would make a lot of sense, right? Throughout the night, maybe clients in different time zones, but you wake up and you probably got some messages for clients to take care of. Now, there's one specific thing. I'm just going to, 1 second, give you an example here. What we want to do absolutely is in our active client list, sort our messages from newest to oldest, and we sort them by messages, right? That is very important. We have a few different views here, but this messaging view is going to show you at the top the most recent messaging activity, and then of course the least recent at the very bottom. So it's really useful because you can just go and sort them in that manner. You can immediately see anything that requires your attention, and very specifically, you need to look out for these little blue dots, which indicate that there's a message that you have not yet read responded to, right? So this is great. At the beginning of the day, we can just look into this directly, see any messages that we have not responded to, that we have not read yet. And then, of course, we can also just see messaging activity pretty much in a list so that we can see who else we need to get in touch with. And you have so much at your disposal here, from the message actions connecting to your whole libraries to voice notes and photos and videos. You really have it all, so you can just run through your messaging in one session. Now, going back to the dashboard, one thing is staring at us in the face again, which is that check-in. So next up, maybe is for you your check-in process, right? Whether you do this once a week for half a day, whether you do this every day for 30 minutes, it really depends from coach to coach, of course, what your workflow is, but it may very well be a part of your day-to-day. And MyCoach Ai is going to make it very efficient to run through your check-ins. So what the first thing is that we're going to do is go to our active client list, and where we were just sorting by messages, we're now going to be sorting by check-ins, nearest to furthest. And not only is it going to show us nearest to furthest, but it's also going to show us the status of that actual check-in, which is really useful in this workflow. Because now I can immediately see Thursday, September 4 is completed. Awesome. But here I can see that the next one is already scheduled, right, for the next week. So no problems there, no action needed. We see that Allison, of course, has a check-in scheduled for today, not completed yet, so no action required there. And we see a couple people who have not completed their check-in, right? They have missed them. So maybe we want to follow up with those people or reschedule their check-in. We can now take action and very easily see anything that requires our action for these check-ins in one place, okay? So for now, there's no check-ins for us to review or respond to, which is great. We can leave that for what it is, but it is a very easy check for us to see what requires our attention regarding check-ins. You can just use this sorting by list at any time whatsoever in order to do that. Now, at this point, you've had maybe your morning, you've had a lot of the client communication done already. You've taken care of the people that needed taken care of. And maybe there's some time left over to do some other things. Now, a lot of things may be part of your day-to-day coaching life, right? Maybe you need to invite a new client and onboard them. Awesome. Let's go do that real quick. You need to go take a discovery call. Maybe there is new programs that need to assign, or new adjustments that need to be made. A lot of time may be spent in your actual client profiles, right? If I want to go through and see, okay, does Christian still have plenty of his program assigned? Yes, I see that this ends in 22 days. I'm good to go there for now. Maybe, a client asks for some adjustments to their workout. Cool, let me do that right now and make some adjustment right here for a client within their specific workout. There's so many different things. Maybe you have a group coaching call, so you go live, right? Maybe you want to build some new programs, workouts, whatever. All of these things can be part of the day-to-day. But it's, of course, important to just see in the big lines the important stuff, because there's so much to the platform. But at this point, you've probably done a lot of the client communication and things that you needed to do to make sure your clients are taken care of. And maybe the last part of your day you spent just creating some extra resources, right? So you build some new workouts, or you work on that new program or that challenge that you've been wanting to make for ages but just couldn't get to. Well, hopefully with MyCoach Ai, it saved you some time and you can actually get to it, right? For example, building meal plans, let's say it's towards the end of the day. Normally it takes me a full hour to build a client meal plan, and I'm not going to do that anymore today. I just have 15 minutes left of my workday. Okay, well, within MyCoach Ai, you can take those 15 minutes and still make the meal plan. That's a big difference, right? We are not going to go from scratch and create everything by ingredient. Of course, you can if you want to, but in this specific scenario, I'm just going to use the algorithm that is going to allow me to just set a calorie count, to set, of course, the macronutrient split, any other advanced things that I want to implement within this meal plan. And I'm going to click generate to actually have the system generate a meal plan for me. Doesn't mean I have to take it as is. I can make any adjustments that I want to. I'm going to say adjustments just here, save this as new. And what I've done now is very quickly created the baseline of my meal plan, after which I can immediately go into that same meal plan and now make any adjustments. Maybe I want to remove a meal here and adding one of my own instead. Cool, let me use a cool little chef recipe or whatever, right? Replace some ingredients. You can even give things names if you want them to. If you want to call this a breakfast and other things lunch and dinner, awesome, go ahead and do it. But as you can see, we can just very quickly make a meal plan. If you have 15 minutes left in the day, awesome, go make that new meal plan. You don't have to schedule out the next 2 hours for it. And it's these type of things that really make the difference, because once again, there's a lot that can be going on in your coaching business, right? You may have to take discovery calls and shoot content for your social media, and there's so much things that can happen on a day-to-day basis in our coaching business. So these staples, the things that need to happen, like taking care of clients and answering messages and scheduling out items, we don't want to take long. And that's why MyCoach Ai makes the difference in all of that. I'd love for you to actually feel the difference and not just hear me say it. So please do feel free to go to our website. We have a link there with more these workflows, see how it works out for your coaching business. And chances are it's going to really speed things up for you and save yourself some time. So hopefully I'll see you soon on the inside. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.